Hey guys, Omni here. We are back for episode 3 of House of the Dragon. The last episode just saw everything just being in a state of constant unease after everything that happened in episode 1. You know, especially with the way that Daemon has kind of been positioned here. Has kind of forced him to kind of do his own thing. Poke and prod the king. And now maybe even take this this offer from Lord Valerion about helping him, unifying their houses and helping actually push back against these crab pirate folk that are just kind of like raiding their ships and all that. Yeah, there's some really interesting plays at foot at the moment, and I'm very curious to just kind of get into things. I'm a little late getting home tonight, so I am late kind of recording this, so we're not going to waste any time. We're going to hop into this video, guys. So if you want to see the full-length reaction to this, you can check it out over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, it gets you access as well. It's in watch-along format, so you just sync up your own footage with the time code and see my reaction to the entire episode. We got the same thing for all the other shows we cover. You also get to put forth suggestions and then vote on what movies we react to each month. We've got monthly Q&As, behind-the-scenes footage, to try to make it worth your while since you are going out of your way to support the channel. But of course, another way to do that, and a simple way you can help us out, is just by liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing these videos, because it really does go a long way with helping the channel grow here on YouTube. But with that said and out of the way, guys, let's go ahead and jump into episode 3. Here we go. Now, I will say that, like, since last time, I now know what we're looking at. This is the Targaryen family tree flooding through the ruins, or not the ruins, but the sculpture that Viserys has been working on and having constructed in his little, like, hideaway hole of Valeria. So it's like all of the Valerian houses, all of the Targaryen houses and stuff like that, with the people that are surviving having their sigil unmarred, but the ones that have not are blotted out in blood. Like their little sigil gets completely swallowed by it. Whereas, see, like right now, yeah, like that's a perfect example right there. The queen just died and Viserys is safe from that pooling blood, which makes this really interesting, which also gives us opportunity to see exactly how this alters as we go through the season, which will be fun to kind of keep an eye out for. All right, picking up with one of the Valerian ships getting completely torched. I wonder if we're going to get another time skip or not. Oh. No. This is so fucked up, man. Yep. That was a fast response time. Hell yeah, man. Dude, I love his dragon because it's just so slender and like serpentine. Oh! Save me! Swoosh. Yeah, saving you is not the plan. The plan is just they need to back the fuck off. His dragon is just so worm-like. I love it. Yeah, dude. Ooh. Oh, that dude vaporized. Except for his legs. Is he burned or has he got grayscale? Oh! Oh, wow. His dragon felt him get hurt. Wow, man. Look at that thing. Like, it's like somewhere between like a Western dragon and an Eastern dragon. And I love it. It like swims through the sky almost. Yeah, man, we definitely have a time skip. 2 years minimum.
It only remains for Viserys to name him heir to the throne.
I wouldn't be so sure.
He's the king's firstborn son.
I don't know that his grace sees it so clearly.
Then it lies with you to make him see it.
I bring urgent news from the Stepstones.
Not today, Tyler.
The matter of the Stepstones is regrettably urgent.
It's been 3 years. It can wait another 3 days.
So what we just saw with Daemon, was that not long after the conversation with Corlys, or whatever you say his name, Lord Valerion, or is that present day?
Daemon has driven the men hard. They have begun to question his command.
Wow, she's pregnant again. She's carrying another baby.
Under the dragon's eye. Perhaps the princess might like to hear something else?
She would not. Play it again.
You may go, Samuel.
You are to stay by order of the princess.
The Queen commands you to leave the Godswood at once.
Oof.
Is it the king's command?
Yes, but it
Then at once, your grace.
needn't be.
Let's hope a fucking boar accident doesn't happen.
How would you like to participate?
I'm not sure why I must.
Because you are my daughter, and you have duties.
Because I am ceaselessly reminded. No one's here for me.
Man, she's let Rhaenys's words really kind of get to her at this point, especially with how things kind of turned out at last episode at the end. So the kids too, with a 9-month Carey. So we're probably looking at a 3-year time jump, right? After the last episode. I wonder if we're gonna have like a time jump between every episode. Really love their dress. Especially like her outfits, man. The design of it, and then like the one she was wearing under the tree.
But the crown is not at war.
The crown is at war, Princess. We've been dragged into it by your uncle and the sea snake.
And how have you served the one with late Lady Red Wine, waiting cake?
So much tension, man.
Lord Jason Lannister.
I gathered that from all the lions.
I don't think we've been properly introduced. No, the King's Wood. It's a fine hunting ground. But the best sport is to be found at Castle Rock, near my home. I don't have a dragon pit, of course, but I do have the means and resources to build one.
Jeez.
I'd do anything for my queen. Or lady wife.
Thank you for the wine.
That wasn't the smoothest of attempts. I commend the effort.
Jason Lannister's an excellent match.
He's arrogant and self-serious.
Well, I thought you might have that in common. But you've refused me at every turn.
That is because I do not wish to get married.
Even I do not exist above tradition and duty, Rhaenyra.
Excuse me, Your Grace.
Probably not the place. Yeah. Yeah, no. No.
Was I named heir to the Iron Throne, so that I might only further raise the standing of a Lord of Castle Rock?
You want me to kill him?
Maybe the Princess of Dragonstone, but I'm toothless.
When your father named me to his King's Guard, it was the highest honor any Cole had ever known. All that I have, I owe to you. Now, I'd hardly call that toothless, Princess.
Before the dragons ruled over Westeros, White Hart was the symbol of royalty in these lands.
And on this day of all days.
I'm a little nervous about how things are gonna go, though. Viserys doesn't have good luck for long, it seems. I'm surprised with his finger and his back, he's still kicking.
I had this forged in the Golden Gallery in honor of Prince Aegon.
It's quite a thing.
I hope it might provide the killing stroke against your White Hart. It's as if the Seven themselves had blessed this day.
Thank you.
It seems too perfect. I don't know. You think they could have, like, rigged this?
Rhaenyra may take her place there by my side without shame and feel herself well compensated for her loss in station.
What loss of station?
If you were to name young Aegon heir, Your Grace.
And when would I be doing that?
many of us had assumed.
Many of us, you say? Have your bannermen questioned my choice of heir?
Oh, he hasn't even considered putting his son in front of her.
Toussaint, Your Grace,
I did not decide to name Rhaenyra my heir on a whim. All the lords of the kingdom would do well to remember that.
Yeah, something's gonna happen to him so that somebody else is gonna make that decision. Dude, Robert got way too drunk before a hunt too, and
You're not only Rhaenyra's father, you're the king. She'll do as you command.
yeah.
Not my wish to command her, Otto. I want her to be happy.
He's too good of a man.
Who do you have in mind?
Prince Aegon.
The boy just turned 2, Otto.
Yes, but it would cease the endless proposals.
I mean, it is House Targaryen, man. It's not unusual, but... Huh? I mean, maybe just like present day, being engaged doesn't guarantee you will make it to the wedding day and be betrothed. Oh man, he's... But he does talk of duties and all this stuff, but it seems like there's always, anytime anything comes up, like the stepstones, like stuff like this, like he just like shoves it off, shoves it away.
It would seem to me the best match for Rhaenyra is the son of the sea snake. Some years ago I counseled you to take his sister to wife. My reasoning remains the same. The breach between your houses has not narrowed since I last spoke of it. It would do much to assuage Lord Corlys of any slights real.
Man, I do not envy any of these people at all.
His Grace is certain to be worried by your absence.
His Grace can worry himself to death if he said lie.
That comment's not going to age well. Man, after we saw that crossbow in the one shot, I'm just like waiting for like a bolt to come streaming out of nowhere. God, this is... something happened. I can't stand this. Oh. Oh. Okay, never mind. That's not what I thought was going to happen. Oh. Oh, what the... No! Oh. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, man. 2 inches just too far in. That'd be in her face, too. Holy shit. Alright, so much for the assassination attempt that I thought was going to be coming.
Many in my line have been dragon riders. Very few among us have been dreamers. And Rhaenyra was a child. I saw it in a dream. As vivid as these flames, I saw it. I sought that vision again, night after night. But it never came again. My obsession killed Rhaenyra's mother. I thought Rhaenyra was the way out of my abyss of grief and regret. And naming her heir would begin to set things right.
Oh, it did.
I never imagined I would remarry. That I would have a son.
Yeah, you should probably... yeah, that's probably a good idea, but you probably should be drinking anymore, my guy. Okay, well, it's daytime. Oh, wow. Like, how is this a sport? I was just thinking about that. Like, they're like doing everything for the king. At least when we saw Robert, for like all I know, like he at least was tracking it from what I could tell. But like this is like, I don't know. Like where's the honor and the reward in this?
Right here, Your Grace.
It's like.
One more time, Your Grace. Put a bit to your left.
Dude, he's gonna get a horn in him or something. Horn, antler. Alright, maybe not. Meanwhile, sure she had a little bit of help here, but she was down in the dirt getting her kill. That's a nice little parallel. Oh, wow, and she's got her own approaching her. Ain't that a fucking omen? God damn. And it's white. Didn't they say they saw a white one? Oh, it's gorgeous, man. Gosh, the parallels between her and her father right now. Badass. All I gotta say. That sends a fucking message.
Would you have me raise a man to steal his own sister's birthright?
He's the firstborn son of the king. To deny that he is heir to the throne is to assail the laws of gods and men. You must guide Viserys towards reason. He'll never find it on his own.
God damn it, man. He's just nothing but a fucking puppet at this point.
I was hoping we might discuss something.
Rhaenyra, she is cross.
I warned you that she would be.
She must needs marry a High Lord who will honor her, defend her, and serve her as king consort.
I do believe that Rhaenyra will marry Your Grace. But she must believe it is her choice to do so.
What's that?
May I? This is a plea for aid. Then why not send it?
Because it is a war started by two malcontents. If I now provide Daemon and call his succor, what will that say of their king?
Then I pose a simpler question. Is it better for the realm if the crab feeder thrives, or is vanquished?
I do not seek to replace you, child.
You've been much alone these last few years. Alone and angry.
You must marry. Strengthen your own claim. Shore up your succession. Multiply. Search him out. Find one that pleases you. As I did. I did waver. At one time, but I swear to you now, on your mother's memory, you will not be supplanted.
Someone's going to take that decision away from him, though, in some way. Feel it. Feel it in my bones. Ooh.
We are faltering.
This is gorgeous.
The crab feeder and his men have no reason to leave those caves.
We must give them one. An offering of flesh to bait the crab.
Show me the knight who will march into that hell-pit nephew, and I will show you a madman.
Daemon.
Daemon is why we are losing.
He, at least, is fighting this war other than master of complaints.
Oh, here it is. Oh!
Know that it is not my desire to see you fail in your cause. It is instead my hope that this aid will deliver the victory that has thus far evaded us.
Is he volunteering to be this bait? Oh my god, dude. He refuses to get help. I think that's why he's making this play. He thinks at this point, Viserys stepping in is a symbol of his weakness. He wants the glory, I think. God damn, man. Wow. Man, these arrows. Yeah, they finally got him, though. Paranoid about the dragon being somewhere, I think. Yeah! Holy shit. Whoa! That's Corlys's brother, right? Riding the dragon? Or is it the son? Doesn't matter, it's badass, man. Yeah. Like, they offered to use Daemon as the bait because they just didn't give a shit about Daemon. And they didn't have a better plan. And he was like, well, you know what? Fuck Viserys, we're gonna do this without him. I'll be the bait. I'll do what you wanted, but guess what? I'm not gonna fucking die. Oh, he's going in. Going in after the Crab King. Missed opportunity, the King Crab. Kingler. No way. We're not even gonna see it? Damn. Dude, he cleaved him apart. Man, they were building that character up quite a bit. Looming in the shadows, sticking back, and now it's just like, whop. Given it was a 3-year conflict. Well, more than 3-year conflict. Ugh. He did it. They did it. Dude, that was wild. Dude, I can't wait to see where this goes, man. That whole final sequence was insane. Daemon is just like, Matt Smith as this character is just so fun to watch. I never really know what he's gonna do. Like when he just like ousted and just started beating the messenger for getting help for his brother finally agreeing to participate in this war. But this time around, rather than it being an aid to help him, like had Viserys like joined him in the very beginning when they had kind of asked for help and aid, now it's from a position of, well, they already started this, but we're losing, so now I have to come in and help. I have to help and pick them up. So now that help represents a completely different thing than had Viserys actually contributed from the very beginning. Because now it can be placed on Daemon and placed on Corlys for their failure to be able to handle this on their own, and he's not about to have that. And I love that. Because before he showed up at the camp, he was out there, he was laying waste fire and brimstone to like those mortars and all that. And then, yeah, everybody goes, the one dude, I can't remember which Valyrian he was, but he was talking about how people are just sick of Daemon and all this stuff, and Corlys is just backing him up. He's like, at least he's out here fighting. But that one guy was like, all right, the only thing we need to send somebody out there as bait, lure him out on a suicide mission. Like, that's the only other option we have with the people we got. And they're like, he just offers up Daemon on a platter before Daemon even shows up. And Corlys is like, I'm not doing that. And I don't even know if they brought Daemon in on that plan or if that was his go. He just presented the same thing that was presented before, but from himself. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But in the end, they still pretty much end up going out with that suicide plan. But lo and behold, as fate would have it, he survives the ordeal, gets their attention, pulls them out of hiding just enough for the forces to get in there and just decimate them, for the dragons to come in and decimate them. And he just barrels through it, not without taking damage, though he did dodge quite a lot of arrows along the way. But he did take a couple hits in the end. But it was brutal. He was quick. He was lightning fast. He thought on his feet, and he made it to the crab feeder. Though I wish we would have actually seen the crab feeder do something other than just look cool and like sit in the distance and just watch. But oh well, who cares? We're moving on. We don't have time for this. We're flying by through this story. We jumped 6 months between 1 and 2. We jumped 3 years between 2 and 3. Who knows how much time we'll jump in the next episode? But that whole sequence was wild. We got to see a new dragon. We got to meet a couple new Valerians. That was fun. But then the whole everything up until that point obviously was a lot of symbolism, a lot of challenging, a lot of parallel storylines that are having very different outcomes between Viserys, what he's doing on this hunt, and then Rhaenyra and how she's kind of rebelling against everything, all these little pawn movements that are being made in her favor to wed her off, to for her to kind of enact her duties, all this doubt that is kind of being sowed about whether or not she is truly going to stay the heir now that he has a son. And all throughout this, there's omen after omen after omen. And Viserys is trying not to go back on those words because he wants to stand true to what he said at the end, to actually acknowledge her, but also get her to understand and not worry and kind of accept the responsibility that comes with it. Because that's what's frustrating him right now. Because to him, the decision's made, but the realm doubts it, doesn't believe it, and now Rhaenyra doubts it and doesn't believe it, especially after the conversation she had with Rhaenys in the last episode. So he's trying his best to prove that for her, and I think that was the turn in the end, from the brown stag, not the white stag, but the brown stag that he found, and then, everything's just being handed to him, given to him, all this stuff, everybody's kind of bringing things in, and it's not quite earned. And then at the end, how that parallels what Rhaenyra does when she just can't take it anymore and runs off into the woods by herself. Kristen goes after her, and then she fights a boar. That boar sequence was wild because they framed like a crossbow in one shot with the sun kind of setting behind it. And I was like, why are we seeing that? And I thought somebody was going to try to assassinate her and Kristen at one point during the woods, but it ended up being that boar. Where with her own hands, and with just the help of one other person, they were both down in the muck, down in the dirt, down physically taking on this beast. And then what approaches Rhaenyra, of all things, the actual white stag, and it appears and she lets it live and moves on. But it appeared to her, again, like all the things that should theoretically be happening for Viserys, should be happening for Aegon, are happening for her elsewhere. And of course, no one's around to see any of that. So these things that are happening is showing like more and more that she probably deserves this way more than the direction this is going to go. And that all these other non-Targaryens are trying to steer the ship that direction. I don't know. It will be interesting to see how this all plays out. Because it's like we got like 3 different motives going on here simultaneously between Daemon, Rhaenyra, and Viserys, even though Viserys seems to be on her side. But man, the High Towers. Alicent reluctantly, and she did back off, driving away from that conversation. She went in there trying to echo what her father wanted her to, talk about Aegon and him being the heir and all that stuff. And then the conversation shifted, and then she just dropped that conversation. She didn't even bring it up. She was like, okay, well, how about we do this with Daemon and actually back the thing. And I like the way she framed it too. It was like, because he was looking at it, it was like, if they started this thing and then I get involved, does that undermine me? And then she was like, how about if they lose, what does that mean for the realm? Like, if we lose the Stepstones, if we lose that trade route, what happens? Like, you look at it like that. What is best for the realm? So in the end, she did pull a pretty decent queenly move in that way, I think. And I think she's struggling with her own good heart at like not trying to steer Viserys wrong intentionally. I don't think she's trying to ride this line between her duty to her family and her father towards her actual concern for Rhaenyra and for Viserys in this way. Because she is a kind soul, much like Viserys is, and most people in Westeros that have these kind of souls don't last too long or don't have a great fate beyond them. I was waiting this entire episode for something shitty to happen to Viserys. I thought, I was like, I don't know, maybe we were kind of meant to feel like that way and kind of draw the comparisons to Robert and his hunt, but I don't know. There was a lot of tension for me throughout all of these like games and carnival like experiences between this whole hunt, this celebration, these tents, the spectacle of it all, the celebration, the Lannisters. I don't know. But I liked how this whole thing played out in the end. I think the next episode will probably be pretty nuts, especially with the consequences of what just happened and kind of where everybody's kind of like set on the board from that point. But guys, what did you think of the episode? Sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. Feel free to join us in our Discord. We can talk about it there as well. Links to that in all my social description box below. Follow me in each and every one of those. If you want to see the full-length reaction to this, remember to check it out over on Patreon or if you become a member of the channel, gets you access as well. And speaking of, before we go, I want to shout out our channel legends: Amanda Sherritt, Ryan, Karen, Jason Coleman, Philip Vane, Yori Coruscant, Margaret Grace, Mary Bradley, Melita, Robert Anguiano, and Raven McCann. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. But that's it for this episode, guys, and I'll see you all next week with episode 4. Take care, everybody.